start swiping and I see California Olive Ranch, and I'm like, no fucking way. But what happened yesterday slash 3 days ago that I found out on Instagram is what I consider to be a black swan event for olive oil. Olive oil, like, it's really cool, but let's be honest, it's not the NFL. There aren't news headlines coming out every week about some extremely urgently important element of the category. It's olive oil. In 50 years, olive oil will be olive oil. 500 years ago, olive oil was olive oil. Yes, technology changes, brands change, and me personally, I'm trying to push the industry forward at a faster rate than it is going right now. But with that being said, there aren't many external news events. It's a big deal that California Olive Ranch created a squeeze bottle for their olive oil. Because Graza has 2 options. California Olive Ranch has like 10 options. And many of those 10 options happen to be way cheaper than Graza. You see it in Sam's Club right now. I don't know if it was a typo. It said $6.50 for 500 ml. Graza cannot do that. It's just the oil is not that quality. But a lot of people that consume olive oil, they may like the squeeze bottle, but Graza's priced out of their range. And they don't want a 750 ml, it's too big. So California Olive Ranch is like, we'll just solve that problem with our oil. So Graza came in and pretty much said, like, there are plastic bottles, there are glass bottles, there are tins, but none of them are really good for customers. They're not super accessible. They're not like fun to play with. And what they noticed was in kitchens, there were squeeze bottles being used for olive oil, and they're like, why do we have people transferring oil into bottles in the kitchen? Like chefs, people that cook all the time like to use the squeeze, and that doesn't exist. So we're gonna take the plastic that does exist in the supermarket, a squeeze bottle that exists in the kitchen, and make our own product. And this is where I think California Olive Ranch is wrong. Like, it's not wrong. They're testing out a concept. They're rolling it out to like several different retailers like Walmart, Sam's Club. I even saw it on Amazon. I ordered it. I couldn't get it in a day, so I couldn't use it for this video. But if you're California Olive Ranch using a squeeze bottle, it is not even close to what Graza's doing. Like, do you see Graza on Instagram, PR, New York Times, Wall Street Journal? They have a great marketing situation, and their momentum, especially amongst people our age, is unprecedented. But with that being said, just creating a squeeze bottle that's pretty much identical and expecting your customers to latch onto it because it's a squeeze bottle, I'm not sure. One thing that California Olive Ranch has over Graza is a price advantage, especially for their lower quality oils. Graza's kind of trapped. They actually, on their website, they had Sizzle, Drizzle, Frizzle. Frizzle was supposed to be their really cheap line of oil that I just don't think ever happened because they realized, why do we need a third? But like the fact that Sizzle, their cooking oil is $15 for 750 ml, California Olive Ranch, and pretty much any big olive oil company could undercut them just because they have a better supply chain and they're not just sourcing from one country. If California Olive Ranch does it, the dominoes will start falling. And Graza will get screwed, unfortunately, because they're all about squeeze bottles when everyone else is a squeeze bottle, even though they're the first mover and they have a grip on a part of the market, they're just stuck in the middle. They're not that good, but they're not bad enough to price down. So I wonder how that plays out. Maybe they just continue taking like that segment of the market, which totally might happen. Who knows? I'm excited to see what happens. It's a really big deal because California Olive Ranch is basically telling Graza, you did a great job with this product, we're gonna try to copy you. But Graza shouldn't take it as like a, damn, we're about to get cornered because all the cheap companies are gonna like take this lower end level product. Because you can't really make a squeeze bottle that premium because the plastic itself, it's not the best way to protect olive oil. So you're not gonna make a $100 bottle of olive oil in a squeeze bottle. Graza's doing a great job like getting into Target, getting into these places, and when they could release a lower line of oil, but unfortunately it won't taste that good and it may turn some customers off. So like they're in this category where like they're about to get undercut by the California Olive Ranch, Pompeians, like all the people that see this and they're like, we can make a squeeze bottle. We already use plastic. We already have massive distribution. We're gonna put it in the supermarket and then it's an expensive squeeze bottle versus a cheap squeeze bottle. Probably go for the cheap one. But they shouldn't look at it like that. They innovated and they succeeded because people are taking their idea and trying to run with it. That's a definition of success. I'll be honest with Graza. So when I started, I mean, you don't even know who I am. I started an olive oil brand last year, period. So the whole idea started in like January 2022. But like in April 2022, when I started researching again, I was talking to my friend and he's like, hey, have you heard of this brand Graza? They made the squeeze bottle for olive oil. You should probably talk to them. I looked into what they were doing and I immediately was like, not for me. It's just not what I'm looking to do. Our visions don't align. Do I believe in what Graza's doing? Not my type of company that I'd want to build. Although I do think the brand is really strong and I'm very impressed by it and I respect them, I wouldn't do that. I believe the company will probably do well. at least in the short term. I don't know long term because I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Do I respect them? Yes. Would I work for them? Look, again, going back to way before, in April, if I believed in what they were doing, I would have gone and been like, Andrew, I want to work for you. I'm keenly interested in olive oil. I see the exact problem you're trying to solve, and I want to solve it with your team. And I would have done it. Could have been great. But like, that's not what I was trying to do. I just don't believe fully in their product. So I'm not going to do it. Graza should be happy that someone's taking their product. It was going to happen no matter what if you're successful with a new type of product. It's just the way that it is. California Olive Ranch, good job on you for putting a product to the test, single product. I like how they tested. I don't love the idea of a company copying another company's exact like bottling or just like innovate a little bit, maybe a different type of color, something that's a little different. But I guess that green color is with the original California Olive Ranch color. But as a viewer, what the takeaway should be is if you build a great product, others will copy you, but take that as a success. It's not a failure. Because if you didn't see that they were going to copy you, there was something wrong with the business plan the whole time. Andrew, Alan, they knew that they were going to get copied if this worked out. And they thought that it would work out, otherwise they wouldn't roll it out the way they did, get investment before it all started and scale it pretty much nationally immediately. Like, they believed in it. They knew this would happen. There's a reason why Andrew might not be crying about it now, because it happened in April and maybe it was negative publicity. I thought it was positive publicity because publicity is publicity. Who knows? I'm excited to buy the bottles. On Tuesday is the delivery date of the bottles. I'm going to compare the two. The bottles themselves per bottle, they're pretty cheap. So because the bottles are cheap, you pour the money into the development. So I wonder if California Olive Ranch changed the bottle at all relative to Graza, because I know Graza's not going to change their bottle anytime soon. It's successful. They're like, they don't want to touch it. You can see like the label hasn't changed. Nothing's changed in the past year and a half. I don't see anything changing in the next couple of years either, unless they do a complete redesign. If I were to make one prediction about the situation, I think California Olive Ranch will roll out several lines of their lower quality olive oil. I don't see them wanting to compete with Graza. I'm going to see a full, complete undercut of what Graza's doing, and then Graza's going to have to react and either pivot or compete. I'm not sure exactly, or maybe get more invested and really scale out distribution and like buy a ton of product like California Olive Ranch does. I'm curious. Subscribe for a pomegranate. I need to buy a pomegranate really badly. I haven't bought one. Actually, I bought one this year, but it was like too shiny and big. I want something a little more natural. So, because when I was in Greece last year, oh my God, the pomegranates were so good at this time of year. Like, why don't they even have Greek pomegranates here? Like, bring it in. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? All right, subscribe for a pomegranate.